forward, and then we will start in a comfortable seat. So just taking a moment to settle into your most comfortable seat, whatever that may mean for you today. So you may find yourself sitting with the legs crossed. You may elevate the hips, whether the legs are crossed or if you're sitting up on a block. If you are in a kneeling position, you may slide a block or other prop between the ankles to elevate the hips slightly. But once you've arrived in that seat, just take a moment to lengthen through the spine, sitting up nice and tall. And then roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Allow the eyes to slide closed. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more, deep breath in. And long breath out. Last one, deepest inhale. And slowest exhale. And allowing the mouth to close. And the breath to begin to flow in and out through the nose with ease. And starting to gently welcome a rhythm of breath that you'll keep for your practice today. Starting to breathe deeply and slowly, feeling as the breath comes all the way down into the belly space on the inhale, and a slow, controlled exhale, feeling as the breath leaves through the nostrils. And as the breath settles, just begin to check in with the physical body. Begin to notice any of those slight shifts as the body settles into this space. Not yet forcing change, but just allowing the body to settle in its own way. Noticing those places that you may begin to release tension from. Maybe feel the shoulders relax away from the ears. Maybe feel the hips become a little heavier. But notice those places where you tend to hold your stress, where you tend to hold your tension. Because likely day after day, you hold your stress and tension in those same places. So as you begin to learn where you hold that stress, that tension, and moments even off of your mat, you may also begin to soften those places. And when you soften those places, you may find more ease, moment to moment throughout your day. Maybe even beginning to check in with the sense of comfort you're finding in your seat today. Is it difficult or challenging to be still and seated? Does the body feel quite comfortable? Are you finding a lot of ease being still and seated? Notice any places asking for attention. And taking just a moment to check in with why those places are asking for attention. What are you feeling in those places? Try not to label it good or bad, but just notice what is. Notice if the mind starts to assign something to it. And see if instead of the mind being in control, you can just allow yourself to notice. And keep noticing the breath as it continues to settle. And at this point, if you haven't already, begin to welcome a rhythm that you'll keep for your practice. A rhythm that flows in and out through the nose. Even out the length of the inhale and the exhale. And begin to welcome a gentle constriction in the back of the throat. The same space that you'd feel if you were fogging up a mirror or glass with your breath. And as you draw the breath over that space, notice the texture and sound that it welcomes. and anchor the mind there. Feel the body completely settle into this moment, into the spaces of ease, into the spaces where you may be having a little bit of struggle. But just let the body be. Meet yourself as you are. But continue to breathe in and out with ease. Notice the moments where the mind may begin to wander, and bring yourself back to breath and back to body. We'll take just a few more rounds of breath, settling in fully, arriving as we are, releasing any judgment, and slowly blink the eyes open. Allow the gaze to remain downturned for just a moment while the eyes readjust. And then slowly make your way onto your hands and knees in tabletop. And as you arrive in tabletop, stack the joints. So the hands come under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, the fingers spread out nice and wide as you start to press into the pad of each finger. Lengthening from tailbone all the way back to crown of head. Feeling the engagement of the low belly, the knitting of the front ribs, and the length through the crown of the head. Inhale, let the belly drop down toward the mat. Arch the spine, lift the tail, the chest, the chin. Exhale, round, curl the body in, press the ground away. Dome the upper back, feel the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, arch, tail lifts, chest pulls forward, chin lifts. Exhale, round, chin toward the chest, press the ground away, feel the space between the shoulder blades, scoop the tailbone under. Inhale, arch, and exhale, round. And continue here for just another few rounds of cat-cow. Really coming through those two movements of the spine, that flexion, that extension. Feeling free to stop and pause anywhere where it may feel good to stop and pause. And also feeling free to add in any other movements or motions that may be feeling good in your body. You may start to drop the hips, to circle the hips, to get into the side body, drawing right shoulder and right hip toward one another, maybe left shoulder, left hip. You may circle out the head or the neck, but just moving and breathing, creating space in your own body. And take about 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. If there's something you've done on one side and not the other, you may even out those 2 sides. And then we'll meet in a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, walk the knees out nice and wide. Sit the hips toward the heels and then lengthen the upper body forward as much as is comfortable and possible. Taking this as an active child's pose, so the hips sink back, the fingertips reach forward, the low belly stays active. Finding some opening through the shoulders, you may even begin to drop one armpit toward the mat and then the other. For a bit more sensation, maybe tensing up onto the pads of the fingers. And then inhale, walk the hands all the way off toward the right side of your mat, really reaching through the left fingertips, sitting the left hip over toward that left heel, and creating space in the right side of the body. Breathing into the ribs, the shoulder, maybe even the upper arm. One more deep breath in. Inhale, slowly walk your hands all the way off to the left side of your mat. Reaching through the right fingertips, sitting the right hip back toward the right heel. Opening up through the right shoulder, right ribs, right side body. One more deep breath in, long breath out. Inhale nice and slowly, walk yourself all the way back to center. This time softening into a relaxing child's pose. Let the forearms release down to the mat. Let the forehead rest. Let the hips be heavy. Let the belly and the ribs soften. And come back to your breath. The natural flow of the breath in and out. Reminding yourself that you can return to this shape at any point during your practice. Good, one more deep breath in. And long breath out. Inhale nice and slowly, lifting up out of child's pose. Knees come back under the hips. Fingers spread wide. Toes tucked. Downward facing dog. Nice and slowly pedaling out the feet in downward dog. Bending and straightening the knees one at a time. If you were patting the knees, leaving that padding just as it is. We'll be using it for our first little bit of a sequence today. But feeling into the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the calf muscles, these places that tend to get quite tight and tense depending on what we're doing. Inhale, lifting up high on both toes. Exhale, let the heels melt down toward the mat. This time, inhale high on the toes. Exhale, heels drop to the right. So you're coming to the pinky toe edge of the right foot, big toe side of left foot. Pressing through both hands, especially that right hand, to continue sending the hips up and back. Deep breath in, long breath out. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, heels drop to the left. Keep pressing through both hands once again, especially that left hand, opening up through the right side of the body. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, heels drop to the mat. We're going to take 2 rounds like that with breath. So inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, heels right. Inhale, center. Exhale, toes left. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, heels right. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels left. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels to the mat. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, flow forward into plank pose. Shoulders stack over the wrist. Press back through the heels. Lengthen through the body. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift the head and heart, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, one more, lift head and heart, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press back up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Good, this time, inhale, plank. Stepping the feet out, maybe slightly wider if big toes were together. Deep breath in. Exhale, nice and slowly, heels drop right. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels left. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels right. Inhale, center. Exhale, heels left. Inhale, center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, flow forward, plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly or halfway chaturanga. Inhale, open up through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. We have one more round, one more addition. So if you're feeling like coming back into plank is not going to work for you, you can stay in downward dog, the heels, and we'll also have an option to make it a little bit more challenging. Inhale, plank. Finding that shape. Deep breath in. Exhale, heels right, either stay or float left arm high. Exhale through center. Heels to the left. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, center. Heels to the right, left arm high if you're choosing it. Exhale, center. Heels left. Inhale, right arm high. Nice. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Hips high, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, float the right leg high. Exhale, nice and slowly step the right foot forward in between the hands. Land the left heel on the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms high, low lunge. Let the hips gently soften toward the mat. Find a slight scoop of the tailbone under. Lift high through the hands. Soften the shoulders. Deep breath in. Exhale, circle the hands out, around, and down. Interlace the hands behind the low back. Inhale, roll the shoulder heads open. Lift the chest. So opening up a bit through the front body after that bit of core work to start. One more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, center, release the hands, float arms high. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lift off the left back knee, right foot meets the left, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left foot steps softly forward in between the hands, right knee lands. Inhale, rise. Coming up into low lunge. Shoulders soften. Slight scoop of the tailbone under. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, circle the hands out, around, and down. Interlace the hands behind the low back. See if you can bring opposite pointer finger forward. Roll the shoulders open, lift the chest, inhale. Finding that opening through the front body. Inhale, slowly come to center, release the hands, float arms high. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Slow sigh out. You can slide that blanket off to the side. Inhale, look forward in between the hands. Nice and slowly walk the feet up to the hands. Come all the way to the top of the mat. When you arrive there, exhale, fold forward. Make two fists with the hands and lightly roll the wrists. We'll be a little less on our hands for the rest of our practice, but just rolling out through the wrists. And then releasing hands toward the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shins or tented fingertips. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms high, stand tall. Exhale, pull the palms to heart center. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Feet step back to plank vinyasa or skip it. So either knees, chaturanga, cobra, or up dog on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Really pressing into the pads of the fingers, evenly distributing the weight of the body throughout the entire hand. So you're not just bringing that weight into the heel of the hand. And one more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, gaze forward, walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Halfway lift when you arrive, long spine. Exhale, fold, softening the knees if that feels best in your body. Inhale, float arms high. Exhale, palms to the heart. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, folds. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Feet step back to plank vinyasa. High to low, your way with control. Inhale, open through the heart. Shoulders roll back, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. 2. Last breath. Inhale, gaze forward, walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Heel toe the feet together. Inhale, chair pose. Sit low in the hips. Lift the arms and chest. Find that scoop of the tailbone under. Low belly, super active. Shoulders releasing down away from the ears. Deep breath in. Exhale, maybe sit a little bit lower. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the right. Left elbow hooks the outside of the right front thigh. Press the hands into one another as you find that rotation. Reaching tailbone back, crown of head forward. Maybe gazing toward the right side of your space or all the way up and over the right shoulder. 2 deep breaths. 1 more. Deep breath in. Exhale, look down toward your toes, transfer the weight into the right foot. See if you can keep the twist as you extend the left foot back behind you, landing in high lunge twist. You can always come out of the twist and back in if you'd prefer. Option here, keep the palms together, spread the arms. Left hand would come down the outside of the right thigh, right arm high. Option 3, take a bind. Right arm wraps around the back toward the left hip for the half bind. Left hand reaches under the right front thigh, catching the hands for the full bind. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths. 1 more. Inhale, nice and slowly unwind. High crescent lunge, arms high. Hugging right hip back, left hip forward. Deep bend into the right front knee. Shoulders stacking over the hips. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Or blocks. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, runner's lunge, look forward. Exhale, extend the right front leg, bow the upper body. 2 more like that. Inhale, flow forward, look forward, shoulders roll back. Exhale, extend. Last one, inhale, flow forward, look forward. Exhale, extend. This time, staying extended, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Spin the left heel down to the mat. Right hand can either come to the shin or a block. Inhale, float the left arm high. Peel the left hip open. Open up to the left side of your space. Keep reaching the tailbone back. The upper body forward, finding length through the spine. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, nice and slowly, rise up, reverse triangle. So left hand reaches toward that left back leg. Right arm reaches high, open up. Beautiful, exhale, side angle, bend back into the right front knee, right forearm to thigh. Left arm forward, bicep toward the ear. Find length from the pinky toe edge to the left front fingertips. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Exhale, let the left hand fall down, let the right arm fall high. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bend both elbows, reach the fingertips toward one another. So you're in warrior 2 in the upper body. So if you started to shift the torso forward, stay open to the left, deep bend into the right front knee, and then maybe gaze back forward. The hands don't need to connect behind the back. If they do, great. If you're using a strap, a belt, or just reaching them in that direction, also great. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, slowly extend the right front leg. Right heel turns, right toes parallel to the left. Keep the hands bound. Exhale, fold. A folding forward brings any sort of pain, especially into the left shoulder. Release the hands down to the mat instead. But if keeping the bind feels okay, and there's no twinging pain, numbness, you can stay as you are. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, nice and slowly rise all the way up. Release the arms, float arms high. Heels in, toes out. Exhale, goddess pose. Bend deep into the knees and elbows. Elbows stay in line with shoulders, palms forward. Inhale, re-extend nice and slow. Exhale, bend, goddess squat. Good, 1 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, goddess squat. Beautiful. Inhale, extend. Turning the toes back to face the top of the mat. Exhale, arms reach back into triangle. Right fingertips forward and down. Maybe the second time in triangle, you can come a little deeper than you did the first time. Left hip healing on top of the right. Left ribs, left shoulder, left hand reaching, gazing up. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Good, 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly come out the same way you came in. So bring the right hand down, the left hand down, come back to the ball of the left foot. And from here, plant both palms. You could do this up on blocks if you'd rather. You can bend slightly into the right front knee. But inhale, float the right leg up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the right knee, open up the right hip. Rolling the right ankle a few times in one direction, maybe a few times in the other. Inhale, re-extend the right leg long. Options here, step down right into downward dog. You may flow forward, three-limbed plank. You may step down here for vinyasa, or you may lower three-limbed chaturanga. Inhale, both feet on the mat, upward facing dog or cobra. No, you can always skip this if you'd rather. Exhale, downward dog. And take 3 deep breaths. Two. Last breath. Inhale, gaze forward toward the top of your mat. Walk, step, or float, feet to hands. Halfway lift as you arrive. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Good, heel toe the feet together if they aren't already. Inhale, chair. Hugging the knees and thighs, finding that scoop of the tailbone. Low belly, super strong. Breath flowing. Shoulders relax down away from your ears. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the left, right elbow hooks the outside of the left front thigh. Find length in the spine. So tailbone reaches back, upper body reaches forward. Maybe you're gazing toward the left side of your space. Maybe you're looking all the way up and over the left shoulder. Good, last breath here. Exhale, look down toward your toes. Take a big step back with your right foot. See if you can keep the twist by using the strength of the core. If you come out and back in, totally fine. Once you've arrived in high lunge twist, stay or deepen. Right hand may come down, left arm high. Stay there. You could take a half bind. Left hand reaches toward the right hip, or maybe the full bind. Right arm reaches under the left thigh, and you wiggle the hands toward one another beneath you. Good, one more deep breath in, and slow breath out. Inhale, nice and slow with control, return to high crescent lunge. Arms reaching up, shoulders over the hips, hugging left hip slightly forward, right hip slightly back. Deep breath in, long breath out. Good, one more inhale here. Exhale, release hands to the mat or blocks. Lengthen through the spine, inhale. Exhale, extend the left front leg as much as is comfortable, bow the upper body. 2 more like that. Inhale, flow forward. Exhale, extend. Good, last one. Inhale, flow forward. Exhale, extend. This time, pause. Lengthen the spine with your next breath in. Left hand lands either somewhere on the shin or on a block. Spin the right heel to the mat. Inhale, open to triangle. So that right shoulder stacking on top of left, right ribs, and right hip. Reaching back through right hip, forward through the crown of the head. Breathing deeply and slowly. Good. One more deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale slowly with control, rise up, reverse your triangle. So right hand down the right leg, left arm high, open up. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, flow forward, side angle, bend back into the left front knee, left forearm to thigh, right arm forward, bicep toward the ear. Good, deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Exhale, settling in a little deeper. Inhale, this time left arm high, right arm low, find length. Exhale, bend the elbows. Reach the fingertips toward one another on the back. They may connect, they may not. Both are totally fine. But keep the body open in that warrior two. So oftentimes we have this tendency to start to bring the torso back forward. Keep hips, ribs, shoulders facing right. If it helps to gaze right, totally fine too. If you want to start to gaze out over the left, kind of the left armpit, sorry, toward the top of your mat, feel free. Good, inhale, extend the left front leg. Left heel turns left toes parallel to the right, find length, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Noting that one side may be different from the other. So just because this felt okay and safe on the first side doesn't necessarily mean that it will on this side. So check in. If you're feeling pain, especially in the right shoulder, even into the right wrist, just release the hands down toward the mat. That's a great option too. Inhale, nice and slowly, long spine, rise up, release the hands, float them high. Heels in, toes out, deep breath in. Exhale, goddess pose, bend the knees and elbows. Elbows in line with shoulders, knees in line with ankles. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Good, last one, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. At this time, inhale, extend. Right toes turn slightly in, left toes forward. Release the hands, inhale. Exhale, triangle, left fingertips forward and down. Maybe the second time in triangle, you can come a little bit deeper. Really rolling right hip, right ribs, and right shoulder open. Gazing up toward the right hand. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly come out the same way you came in. So right hand comes down, left hand comes down. You spin back to the ball of the right foot. Exhale, folding forward. Plant the palms. So you're staying on the ball of that right foot. You're pressing into the hands, engaging the core. You can always bend the left knee if that's a better option, but float the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the left knee, open up the hip. And maybe rolling the left ankle a couple times in one direction and a couple in the other. Good, inhale, re-extend left leg long. Options, step down here, skip the vinyasa. You can always take regular vinyasa flowing forward. You could flow forward, 3 limbs, lower 3-limb chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart. No matter which variation, both feet are on the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, 3 full breaths. 2. Last breath. Inhale, float right leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot as far forward as you can comfortably bring it. If it doesn't come between the hands, that's okay. Lengthen through the spine. Spin the left heel to the mat, find pyramid pose. To start in pyramid pose, really find that length. Even if it means you need to pop up to a higher height of the blocks, that's totally fine. What you want to avoid is kind of sending hips to the right and letting that left hip heel open. So hips totally square to the top of the mat. A soft bend in the right front knee may be a nice option as well. Lengthen tailbone back, upper body forward, deep breath in. Either stay or slowly with control start to fold. But if as you start to fold, you notice kind of that moving of the hips over to the right, come back to finding length. Gaze could either be at the right big toe if it feels comfortable to look back toward left toes, or even up toward the belly button gently, that's okay too. But finding length through the spine. Add one more breath here. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Left hand lands underneath the left shoulder. Notice the tendency here to walk the left hand out to the left side and really think about that length in the spine and planting left hand. Right hand comes to right hip. Lengthen on an inhale. Exhale, twist toward that right side. So right ribs and right shoulder start to stack on top of the left. Stay there or float right arm high. So finding a pretty deep twist. Reaching the tailbone back, keeping the hips square. Low belly is super active. Breath is flowing. Head one more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale here, find a little more twist, a little more length. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Inhale, warrior three, flow forward. Hands could stay on the blocks, any height of the blocks that's best for you. But think about finding that same squaring action. So hips, ribs, chest, facing the mat. If you want a little bit of added challenge, maybe pop hands up to heart or hips or even behind you. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, slow, controlled landing, left foot meets the right top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, arms float high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, feet step back to plank vinyasa or skip it. Your choice. Inhale, open the heart if you're moving through. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 full breaths. 2. Last breath. Inhale, float left leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left foot step slowly, carefully, as softly as you can, as far forward as you can. Hands can always walk slightly back. Spin the right heel to the mat, maybe even stepping the right foot slightly forward for pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Left hip hugs back, upper body reaches forward. Deep breath in. Either stay or slowly start to fold. Notice as you start to fold if the hips swing to the left. Keep the body long, even if that means you're staying upright more instead of folding. Better to find that hinge from the hips rather than worrying about how close you can get down toward the left thigh. A slight bend in the left front knee may also be a better option to help you to hinge from the hips, and that's totally fine. Gaze could be at left toes, right toes, or maybe toward the belly button, but just finding the variation that works for you. Meeting yourself where you are today. Resisting any urge to compare yesterday to today, one side to the other side. Just being as you are. And inhale, nice and slowly lengthen out through the spine. Land the right hand right under the right shoulder. So being really mindful here of where that right arm is. Hugging the left hip back. When you're ready, left hand can come to left hip. Maybe even using that left hand to gently draw the left hip back. Lengthen the upper body forward. Inhale. Exhale, slowly twist to the left. So again, that left hand may stay on the left hip. You may start to float the left arm high. Be aware of the shoulder. Be aware that one side may be different than the other. Low belly super strong, pulling in. Just opening up to that left side. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, landing the left hand, softly bend into the left front leg. Inhale, warrior three, lift off. Your choice. Hands may stay on blocks. They may lift to heart, hips behind you, overhead. Keep reaching back through that right heel. Forward through the crown of the head, no matter where you are in the shape. If you do have the hands down on blocks, be mindful to place most of the weight in the left foot so that the hands are light. Maybe even coming up toward the fingers if you're finding that there's a lot of weight into the hands. One more deep breath in. Exhale, slow and controlled. Right foot meets the left top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep arms high, stand tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Good, inhale here. Exhale, hands to the hips. Step the feet out to about hips distance, maybe slightly wider. Lengthen through the spine, inhale. Exhale, slowly hinge forward. As you hinge forward, find that point where you can no longer feel yourself hinging from the hips, no matter where that is. Bend slightly into the knees. Keep hinging from the hips. See if you can lay belly and ribs right on the thighs. Then release the hands down. Pointer finger and middle finger slide in between big toe and second toe. They wrap around the big toe. You complete that circle with the thumbs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. See if you can find a little more length. Knees can be super bent here. And then exhale, fold forward. As you fold forward, you may start to let the head be gently heavy, but notice if the shoulders are hiking up to the ears, and see if you can find a slight drawing of the shoulders away from the ears. If the belly and ribs are comfortably connected to the thighs, you may start to slightly extend the knees. You may be gazing toward anything that's behind you, or you may be drawing the gaze up toward the belly button, which may help to deepen the posture. Good, one more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, nice and slowly, keep the hands as they are, lengthen through the spine, inhale. Now the fun part or not so fun part. Exhale, see if you can bend into the knees. Oftentimes bringing the knees inside the arms is actually easier, but outside could work too, it just depends. See if you can lower all the way to your feet. Lift the feet and come into boat pose. So you may realize that holding onto the feet here is totally ridiculous. You can let go. Hands can come to the backs of the thighs. If you comfortably have the toes, you can either stay with feet just floating off the mat. You may bring shins parallel to the mat. You may extend the legs long, finding that boat pose. Wherever you are, low belly super strong. Shoulders relaxing away from the ears. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, wherever you are, start to release back down. Soles of the feet to the mat, hands release. You could take a little bit of a rock back if you want to, if you know that's safe in the back. Or see if you can slowly come forward without the hands, lift back up to chair, inhale. And then exhale, fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, feet step back to plank. One last vinyasa, high to low your way. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward dog. Nicely done. 3 deep breaths. 2. Last breath. Inhale, right leg floats high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, pigeon. Right knee lands behind the right wrist, shin and ankle toward the inside left long edge of your mat. Walk the left leg back as much as is comfortable and safe. You could always pad left knee or left ankle. You could also take a blanket or block or other associated prop and slide it underneath the right hip. But find length in the spine, inhale. Exhale, nice and slowly fold forward. You may fold forward, bringing the forearms down to the mat. Forearms could also land on blocks. Checking in with the right knee. You don't want to be feeling pulling or pain, especially in that right knee. If you have a lot of space here, you may find yourself coming all the way down, forehead toward the mat, or forehead toward a block. Breathing into that right hip. Thinking about hip points pointing down toward the mat. So we're not lifting the left hip up or letting the left hip drop. The torso and upper body is just as long and just as square as it was in that pyramid pose, even though the legs are doing something different. So being aware of where the body is in these shapes. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale nice and slowly, lifting up out of the shape. Planting the palms, tuck left toes under, step right foot to meet the left, downward facing dog. You can pedal at the feet, you could circle out the right hip, just moving in a way that feels good in your body. And then inhale, left leg high. Exhale, pigeon pose, left knee lands behind left wrist, shin and ankle towards the inside right long edge of your mat. Walking that right leg back. You could pad the right knee, right ankle, left hip, any or all of the 3. And then finding that slight drawing, left hip slightly back, right hip forward, so hip points are square. Deep breath in, inhale. Exhale, fold. Coming to your degree of a forward fold, whether that means elbows or forearms on blocks, on the mat. Forehead could come to a block or prop in between the forearms. You could also lie flat, forehead to the mat. And again, checking in with the second side, with sensation, with where the hips are, the ribs, the chest, noticing if you're leaning one way or the other. See if you can square just like you did in that pyramid pose. We'll take 2 more full breaths here. And then inhale nice and slowly, lifting out of the shape. Bring the hands to the mat, right toes tuck under, left foot meets the right, downward facing dog. And pedaling out through the feet, maybe circling out through that left hip. And then making your way through a seated position. And we'll come right down onto our backs. And you'll want either a block, a blanket, or a pillow just off to the side. So making sure you have one of those props nearby. And then once you've arrived on your back, hug the knees in toward your chest. Give them a squeeze. A gentle rock sway side to side. And then lower the soles of the feet down onto the mat, taking your prop of choice and placing it right underneath the pelvis. So you'll press into the feet, lift the hips, slide that prop right underneath the pelvis. If you don't have a prop available, you could use your hands instead, or you could just let the feet extend high with hips on the mat. But sometimes a little bit of extra height can feel really nice. So bringing the feet up in the air so they stack as much as possible right over the hips. So there's minimal effort in keeping them up in the air. The hands could rest on the belly, down by your sides. They could come into a cactus shape or even up overhead. But we'll spend a few moments here in this supported inversion. You may choose to find stillness. You may roll the ankles. You could even extend the arms up in the air and roll the wrists. And slowly start to make your way out of the posture, bending the knees, releasing the soles of the feet back down onto the mat. Pressing into the feet, lift the hips, slide your prop off to the side, lowering the hips back down to the mat, and then hug the knees in toward the chest. And extend the arms out toward either side in a T shape or in a cactus shape, and let both knees fall to the right. And as knees fall to the right, gently look to the left. Again, arms could be extended or cactus. And just finding a gentle wringing out of the spine. Inhale, slowly make your way back up to center. Hug the knees in toward the chest once again. Let the arms re-extend either long or cactus, and then knees fall to the left and look to the right. And letting the breath flow with ease. Letting the body soften a little bit more with each exhale. Inhale, nice and slowly, come back up through center. One last hug of the knees in toward the chest. And then find your most comfortable Shavasana position. Letting the arms and legs extend long. You could also let the hands rest on the belly, soles of the feet to the mat, knees toward one another, soles of the feet together, knees wide. But once you've found that most comfortable lying position, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out. And allow the body to completely relax. Let the hips be heavy, the shoulders soft, the lower jaw and the space between the eyebrows. Any of those places that you hold tension, relax and release. And we give ourselves these final moments of our practice to just rest. Slowly begin to welcome movement back into the body. Wiggling the fingers, the toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. Maybe take a full body stretch. And then slowly roll onto one side, whichever side is most comfortable in your body. Allowing the head to rest, the body to remain relaxed, and the breath flowing in and out with ease. And then slowly press to a comfortable seated position. And as you arrive in your seat, guide the palms to connect at heart center. Bow your head forward toward your hands and your heart. We end our practice with one final collective breath. A deep inhale through the nose, breathe in. And exhale a slow sigh out. Draw thumb knuckles to third eye center. We bow to each other. Namaste. And thank you guys for joining me.